Hello everybody. Today I'm going to give you a short introduction on the topic of user innovation and how to exploit this source of innovation for your competitive advantage for your company, and also introducing you to some very nice tool for doing that called the lead user method. So what exactly does the term user innovation really mean? Eric van Hippel said that anytime anybody runs into a big problem and there is no commercial solution, you're going to get user innovation. So that basically means that the user in this case can be whatever user. It can be some final customer developing some commercial product further, or it can also be some manufacturer that develops some product further for his own suppliers to buy this product then from his supplier, and develops user innovation for his supplier. So just a few short words about myself in order for you to know that I know what I'm talking about. My name is Philip and I'm a student at Vienna's University of Economics and Business. There I attend the specialization Entrepreneurship and Innovation at the Institute of Innovation, which is especially renowned for its research on user innovation. Yes, so as we said before, there are different economic agents that can create user innovation. For example, there is, most of all, of course, there are individuals that, for example, if their market is just too small, isn't economically viable for some business to serve their problems and develop solutions for them and market them. Another good reason why individuals start to innovate is that their need is just not known to companies, which is also known as the phenomenon of sticky information. Then companies, of course, innovate also, and it's user innovation, as we said before. If the buyer in the supply chain develops some product for his own supplier, and just any organization in general might innovate as a user. For example, that's very important in the area of open source open source software, like library systems, like the platform from universities, which is always further developed by the university. Open Office, for example. And user innovation also is clearly not a new phenomenon. So as we see, for example, in this picture of a snowmobile version of a Model T. And by the way, nearly all of our sports like kayak, skateboarding, bungee jumping, snowboarding, these were all user innovation. So most of the sports we nowadays have were created and invented by users and not by producing companies. Well, then let's take a short look on the impact of user innovation. Well, user innovation has a very strong tendency to create disruptive innovation instead of incremental ones. So that means that the big jumps in product development are very likely to happen by user innovation. And also, using user innovation, you often can create completely new product lines and differentiate your business. And it even can disrupt your business model in general and completely transform it. And these reasons lead to the fact that more than 50% of successful new ventures are started by user innovators. This is highly related to the big monopoly advantage that you can enjoy as a company, if you bring a completely new product line or a completely new business model to the market. And also user innovation is in no way only limited to low-tech products, but also very much to the high-tech sector. So for example, the robotics we nowadays use in brain surgery, these were not developed by some robotics company, but were developed mostly from the doctors who do brain surgery themselves, so the users in this case. And also we have the case of 3M. If you know 3M, it's one of the most innovative companies in the world, and they use user innovation to consistently and regularly create new product lines. For example, here this covering for operations against infections. And these sheets were developed using an innovation tool called the lead user method. Yes, on the next slide I will explain you how the lead user method works exactly. But for now, let's take a look on this study about the use of the lead user method at 3M. The study was published in 2002, and it shows us very well what the impact of the lead user method was. So in table 2 we see that out of 42 projects using traditional methods of innovation, out of these 42 projects only one led to a major new product line. And out of these 5 lead user method based projects, all 5 lead to major new product lines. And this also very much leads to the table on the right, table 1, that shows us the outcome of all these projects. And here we see, for example, that the market share in year 5 by the lead user generated ideas covered 68% instead of only 33% by the non-lead user generated projects. And especially impressive is the number of the estimated sales in year 5. So we have $146 million of sales compared to only $18 million generated by the non-lead user ideas. So the impact is enormous. So this is basically how the lead user method works. So first of all, a company has to do broad research on some trends in its market and broad research on the most painful problems that its customers currently have. And after this broad research, the innovation management team has to decide on which trends and which problems to focus on during the lead user project. After this decision was made, some lead users have to identify. Lead users are the most innovative and creative users in one's market, and are also very much ahead in their needs, ahead of the rest of the market, even ahead of early adopters. So lead users basically also show which the needs of the broad majority of the market will be in a few months or maybe in a few years. Then also some industry experts have to be consulted and invited to the lead user workshop. So lead users and industry experts are invited to the lead user workshop, which normally lasts about 3 to 5 days. And on the first day of the lead user workshop, there is some level of idea generation. So every attendant of this workshop states his ideas, shares it with the teams. So normally in a lead user workshop there are 10 to 25 attendants, and these are split up in the next step in smaller teams, each one assigned with one idea from the idea generation phase, and each team is also provided some member of the innovation management team as a guide in his group. And for the rest of the days, the ideas that have been generated on the first day are step by step improved in these teams, and some concepts and prototypes are developed in these 3 to 5 days. When these concepts and prototypes are well enough developed, you can then use it in your traditional product development. So in general, the users that participate in the lead user workshop don't have any problem with ceding the intellectual property right to the company without any payment, in order to solve also not only their own problems but also the problems of their peers in their market. And traditional product development then takes these raw concepts and prototypes and polishes it, and develops them further, makes them economically more viable, of course, and improves them until they are ready to launch on the market. And as soon as you launch these new products, these new product lines, another business model, whatever, as soon as you launch it on the market, you as a company can enjoy this huge disruptive monopoly advantage, at least for some months or years, and you will enjoy a lot of profits, of course. So that was my short introduction for you on user innovation and the lead user method. I know it's a very shallow introduction, so if you want me to do some follow-up video where I explain it a little further, just write it in the comments, and I would be very happy to hear something from you. Thanks for watching.